Good morning, ladies. Welcome back. If you watched my previous video, it was on some of the new 2024 makeup trends. Well, I did get a request to try and do a blue eye for you. That is one of the new makeup trends that I think any age can wear. It's just a matter of how you do it. So today I thought I would do a blue eye for you. It's looking in my monitor more like royal blue, but it is a dark navy blue eye or sweater that I'm wearing today. So I thought I would do blue. I know you can do blue, green, purple, all the jewel tones. The first thing you want to do is make sure you're priming your eyes. This is the Ace Beauty Eye Primer. This is one of my favorites. I love this one because it's highly pigmented. It gives you nice coverage on your eyes. A little goes a long way. I always forget that every time I use this too. I do have my brows already done. Did them off camera because I am still using my favorite brow product that's been discontinued, so I don't really want to show it on camera. I have to find a new favorite. Isn't it always that way? You find something that you love and it gets discontinued. Hi, Loki. And one of the other things that I'm using in my video today, which I'll show you at the end, is being discontinued. And I will give you my opinion on that as well. Okay. Got my eyes all nice and primed. What you can do if you want is to set them a little bit with powder. Sometimes I do that. I'm just going to take a nice little fluffy brush, tap off, and just lightly barely dust over the top because I don't want too much on here, but I want just enough that's going to help set it. Now, there's several different ways that you can do a blue eye, and you can go very over the top, real dramatic. You can do something like just your neutral tones and then pick a blue eyeliner and just do blue eyeliner. And that's going to get you in that trend of a blue eye, just adding that little pop of blue with a blue eyeliner. I know a lot of people that are doing this are putting their eyeshadow on and then they're putting blue there and maybe a little bit of blue underneath. That gives their eyes just that pop of color. Blue, green, teal. There's so many different color eyeliners. I wouldn't go shocking neon blue or anything, but these are nice colors that you can wear, that you can do that, and that's it. That's your little pop of blue. Or you can do something that's got blue all over. Or you can do just a pop of blue in the color. So I'm going to start out. Now when I do this, I like to have a transition color. I like to have my underbrow color. The palette, one of the palettes that I'm going to be using a couple different ones, is by Sydney Grace. And this is the Blessed Sydney Grace and Glitzy Fritzy. They did a combination together. And I love this palette, and you're going to say, well, there's no blue in here. There's green, but there's no blue. But I'm going to take some of the neutral colors because I don't want to do all blue on my eyes. So I'm going to start out, and this is my Angie A501 brush. It's a little bit flatter. And I'm going to take this color up here. And I'm going to take this, and I'm going to mix it with My Savior and Papua Guinea because I don't want total white under my eyes. But I do want, and I have a cooler undertone in my skin. So I can use neutral. I do peach, and I've talked about this before. I do wear peaches and warms sometimes too. But you can see that this it looks good. I have a sunscreen on that's got a tint in it. So my skin does look a little bit more neutral or golden, but if you look at the rest of me, I'm more pink. So, okay, I'm going to start out with my big Angie A501. I love BK Beauty brushes, and I would highly recommend them to anybody. And I'm going to take the same thing. I'm going to do the My Savior, but I'm going to mix it with a little bit of Cinnamon Girl, G-U-R-L. So I'm going to take one dot of that and one dot of that. I'm going to tap off my excess, and then I'm going to blend this into my crease because I don't want to do blue way up high and above my crease. Same thing for the other eye. I think that's just a little bit too much for, mature women, but you need something that's going to help transition your two colors together. I think you need something above here, especially if you have hooded eyes, but I don't want to bring the blue way up there. So I'm just blending these two colors. So if I had gone with just this, it would have been too light, and this may have been a little bit too dark for me. So I mixed the two of them. Ladies, you can do that all the time. If you've got a palette and you're looking at it and you're like, oh, that looks too dark for me, that's too light, mix your colors. You can take, now if I wanted to darken this up a little bit, I could take just the one color and darken it up a little bit. But I like it where it's just more of a wash. So I'm going to put, I like that. It's very subtle, but it's nice. The other palette I'm going to use, this is another one by Sydney Grace. Look at the colors on this. I just love her palettes. This is the Sydney Grace X Temptalia. They have several different color versions of this, or a couple different ones. And I like this one because it's got your green, so if you wanted to do the green jewel tone, this one's perfect for that too. But it's got some blues here that are just, I think they're just nice and soft, and I think they're going to work really nice. So we're going to try those and see what we get. Now I'm going to start out by doing my corner color, and I want this to be very subtle. So I'm going to take this one here. It's called Midnight Courage, and this is like a dark, soft muted blue. I mean, it's not like a vibrant blue, and that's what I like about it. I haven't taken the plastic off of this one, the mirror, yet. And I am going to be very careful on how I put this in my corner of my eye. I don't want this going up like when I normally do, I'll bring things out, but because this is a little bit more of a darker dramatic, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick right here on my lid and just in my corner. This is where I want my emphasis, but I don't want to go above my crease. That's going to be too dark with this dark of a color. And I know this looks sort of scary, but I'm going to take it and blend it just a little bit, real softly. And again, I'm using a BK Beauty. This is the A502. This is all from the Angie Hot and Flashy collab with them. And then I'm going to go back into my other two colors. And I'm just going to make sure this is nice and blended. I did bring up one of my Sydney Grace. This is a really small pencil brush, so I can get real detailed if I want. But you can see how that is. It's blue, but it's very subtle because it's out at the corners. I'm not doing anything super, super dramatic. I didn't want to get like, crazy, crazy. And you can take, if you want it darker, which I do think I want it a little bit darker. Go back, build it up a little more. But I'm being very careful. This is where you want to use your smaller brushes just to stay where you are. Now, This is where, if I wanted to, I could take and do a blue on my lid, go even darker, or even this super dark blue. Or I can go something lighter. This is where you can make up your mind whether you want to do blue all over your lid. There are so many different pretty colors that you can pick. You can go blue all over, and I have done that where I've taken, I had a different palette, and I went all over with a blue shimmer on it too. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. Or you could do something like this that's got pink and blue in it and bring in different tones, which I really like. Or you could do something like this. You know me, I love my pinks and stuff. So if you want to do something a little bit more subtle, you can do something like that. Now I'm going to take the other flatter Angie brush, and I am going to take a little bit of that. It's called Calming Presence. It's a little bit of a shimmer, and I'm going to put that over the top of my other blue, just slightly. Because it's got a little bit more of a different tone to it. And I'm going to take this brush and blend it in. Now you don't have to do that, you can stick with just one color, but I liked how that was a little bit bluish purple. Now I am going to clean up my corners because I don't want any blue on the outside. So I do have Q-tips up here with me that I can make sure. And this is when you're doing something like this. This is not like a 5-minute out the door eye. This is something that's going to take a little bit longer because you're going to want to be careful. I mean, unless you don't care and you don't mind if your blue is all over. But one of the other options I can do is go super silver on my lids. I don't think I want to do something quite that dramatic today. So I think I'm going to do something that's like in the pink. I'm going to do pink and then maybe, blend in some of the blue with it too. But I just got to decide whether I want to do Lunar Illumination, which is this one that's got like a color shift to it that goes blue and pink. Or there's another one in the other palette that's Sugar Tiger. So these are my two options. This one's got a little bit of a color shift that brings in some of the blue. So I think maybe I'm going to do that one because I want a little bit of, I want to bring a little bit of color into it too. So, or I could do this one that really, but that's a little bit darker. So I want to keep this a little bit more of a subtle eye. So get this all off of me. So I'm going to use my finger and I'm just going to apply this on my lid. Just pressing it in and blending into the blue. Okay. Now again, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to blend these two together. So it's going to soften off that, just so much soften up that edge of your blue shadow, which I love doing. I wanted a little bit more of a softer look. Okay, and then I'm going to go into this one's called Be a Blessing from my other palette, and I'm going to take, and I'm just going to brighten up this inner corner. Use my pinky. just a little bit. Okay. I like this. It's blue, but it's not like super dramatic blue. And again, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to blend right here because I want my edges. And this is where you're going to have to take time to just go back and blend your colors, because I don't want my blue to go up higher. I'm trying to keep it just on my lid. Okay. Now, this is where we're going to do some fun eyeliner. You can do several different things with your eyeliner. You can put blue on top. You can do a tight line with the blue, because these are the LA Girl ones, which I do love, and I can tight line with them. You can put them on the bottom. But what I'm going to start out today, and I'm just going to use my Essence. This is my little brown pen. And I'm going to try to get as fine a line as I possibly can next to my lashes. I don't want to go black because I don't want it real dramatic on my eye. I think I need a new liner. This one feels like it's almost out. Well, I was heading up to Ulta anyway, so heading up that way. But I'm just putting this right at my lash line. It's actually going to be nice outside today, so I'm so happy. For Michigan, it's going to be in the 50s. They said we might hit almost 70 on Monday. I'm like, yay, I'm ready for spring. I am so ready for spring. But I'll take sunny and 50. Those of you who live in Florida and California are probably thinking, no, that's too cold for us. But when you live in Michigan, sunny and 50 feels good. You can see how subtle that is, but it just gives a little bit of definition to my lash line. And I like it. It's very soft. Then I'm going to take underneath my eyes, and these are my two options that I brought up. These are the LA Girl liners. And I brought up one that's a little bit deeper, like a deeper navy. I don't know if it has a color on here or just the color on the end. It probably does, but I gotta get my glasses on because I can't see up close really good. Never Ending Navy. And the other one I brought up is a little bit more teal. So if we were going to pick some of those greens or more of the tealer colors, look at the color in that. That is beautiful. But I think that's too teal to go with what I have on today. So what I want to do is I'm going to take and put just a slight amount right underneath my eyes. And again, this is something that you could do if you did not want to do the blue eyeshadow at all. You could just do a neutral eye and then do a little bit of blue liner. And it's a little bit softer underneath than if you were wearing black. And I like to just slightly soften it up. And then with my fine brush that I brought up, my little pencil brush I brought up, I'm going to take and put a little bit of, this is called Flying High. This little shimmer right here. I like putting a little bit of shimmer. I'm going to get that and I'm going to put that just ever so lightly over the top of that. And it's going to help set it. and it gave me some definition. Love that. Love that. Okay, now I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to put on some mascara real quick, and I will be right back. I'm back, and this is the eye look. And I think it is so subtle. It's something you could wear every day. It just brings a pop of color to my eyes that matches my sweater, and it's not overly done. Now, I did not put mascara on my bottom lashes because I'm going to put my concealer and everything on. And I don't put a lot of mascara under my eyes, but you can put more under there. I put a lot of moisturizers and everything on, so I did not bring my waterproof mascara on, so I may go get some waterproof mascara and put that on, not waterproof, don't wear waterproof, my tubing mascara, and put that on the bottom of my lashes. But for right now, this is it. It's very subtle. It just has a little bit of blue and a little bit of blue liner, and I think it looks wonderful. If you wanted to amp it up, you could even take, and this is a bad idea to do, but you should do it before then, you could take and put underneath here and tight line. And I normally would say don't do this after you put your mascara on because it may mess it up. So I'm trying something that's if you wanted to tight line and give it even more definition at your lash line, you could. And that just gave me even a little bit more definition, but it's blue, so it's going to make my eyes pop a little bit more. I like hitting a little bit of blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my makeup real quick. I brought up a little bit of the Catrice color corrector. I'm just going to go through this really, really quick. Get rid of my dark circles and press that in. I just like pressing my color corrector in with my finger and help it blend with the warmth of my skin, because then you don't have to put as much on. The foundation I'm wearing is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro. Now this is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro for Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. This is the original formula. I love this. I absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite. Every time I wear this foundation, I get compliments on my skin. And this is one of my favorite. And they're discontinuing it. They came out with a new version that is a matte version, which is sort of funny because this year, the 2024 makeup trend is not matte skin at all. It's a satin finish or a velvet finish. It's not super shiny, but it is definitely not matte. I checked the ingredients on it. It has alcohol in it, so I know it's very drying. I have seen some of the reviews. I have actually seen a YouTuber compare this version with the new version. And if you want to see that, check out Shirley's Box of Chocolate. She loves this foundation as much as I do, and she's not real happy with the new one. It left her skin dry and flaky, and she has a normal combination, sometimes oily T-zone, and it still left sort of dry patches and made her look dry by the end of the day. She had to put a lot of primer underneath and different things to make it work. So if you have super oily skin, it might be a good thing, but for me, not so much. So I'm going to put this on because this is one of my favorites. And I love how natural this looks. And I'm just taking this brush and pressing it in and then blending it out. Look how natural that looks. It's got good coverage, but it looks natural. And I will tell you, my skin in the last month, if you saw, I did do a quick video. Nira Pro was so generous. They gave me a Nira laser to try and asked me to try it out and give my opinion on it. And I have been using it for a month now. And it's supposed to take 90 days. It's not as strong as if you had gone into a, dermatologist or medical clinic to have laser treatments done. But even after a month, I can tell you, my skin is looking better. I've been using it every night, and I've got the Pro, so I can use it not just around my eyes, I can use it all over. And I've noticed some of my hyperpigmentation is getting lighter. My skin texture is looking better. I am so excited to see what is going to happen at the end of 90 days. Look at this. I mean, I can't tell you how much I love how this looks on my skin. It just looks so natural. It doesn't look thick or cakey. It feels hydrating on it, and it lasts all day. So, I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. For my concealer, I'm just going to use the Physicians Formula Better Butter. And because I did use my color corrector, I don't have to use as much concealer. And I'm going to use my Angie A506 concealer brush, which I absolutely love. And this is where, again, you can take your concealer and just clean up. That final little touch-up right there to give your eye that little lift. And I love how this brush, you can use it to actually press it in, and then you can shear it out. And then we're going to press it all in. And I'm trying to do this part very, very quickly because it's all about the eyes. I did bring up my Huda Beauty powder. I don't use a lot of powder. We all know that. And I'm just going to use this powder brush. This is a Sydney Grace brush. This is her, I think it's an F02. I'm just going to get a little bit of my powder. Always tap off your excess and just press lightly. Do my little trick. I know that looks so funny, but you can see I have wrinkles. But when I do this, it sort of flattens them out, so then I can press the powder in there. And then I'm going to press it in with my sponge to help everything just mesh together. Love that. And I love this powder too because it is and I'm not doing a lot of powder. I just very, very lightly I'm going in and I tap off. I always tap off the excess. I'm just trying to set the areas that I know have a tendency not to last as long. Okay, that's done. I'm going to do a quick contour and I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Contour. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand right here because I don't want to go directly onto my face with this. I'm going to take my BK Beauty 109 brush that I have been telling you that I am falling in love with this, I tell you. This just blends out so beautifully. And it just makes it look so natural. A little bit more on my brush. Then I'm going to go under my chin. Take it a little bit right down the center here. My NeuroPro, I've been using it all over my face. I've been on my jawline, trying to help all this aging, sagging skin that I have. I like this brush because you can just take this contour, I'm getting it on my hand and I'm pressing it in, and then because I just want this very light. This one is light enough that you can go directly onto your skin, but I like, and sometimes I will, but I want to make sure that it looks very subtle and natural. And I love this. This is so great for so many different cream products. I tell you, I just love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, I brought up, this is an older, and I'm not even sure this is still available. This was a Christmas palette, a Patrick Ta Christmas palette. And I love this because it's got the cream and the powder. And I've got my BK Beauty Nikki LaRose brush on here where you can do a cream on one side and a powder on the other. So I am going to do that. I'm going to take the powder blush, which is highly pigmented. Tap off a little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm going to put this up on my cheeks. Just lightly. Now, I will tell you this, when I do blush, especially as you get older, you don't want to get this too low. You definitely don't want to, the bottom of your nose, that's it. And you don't want to you want to do like your pupil. You want this to be uplifting. That's the name of the game. Oh, I have to tap off. But that's okay. Because all we can do, we can just go back, tap off, use your little foundation brush, tap the edges so it is blended seamlessly. You still have a little bit of foundation on there, just press it on the edges and look at that did. So that I did with my powder side of my brush here. So now I'm going to go into the cream side and I'm going to take the cream blush the way that Patrick Ta says to do it, and I'm going to put the cream over the top because it's going to give it more of a dewy look. Loving that, and again, press everything in to blend your edges and make sure everything is nice and soft. Love that. Now, this also has a highlighter in here. So I do have my little Sydney Grace highlighter here. This is a little bit more of a warmer highlighter, and I do have more of a cooler undertone. But I'm going to use it. I'm going to just do it very, very lightly. That's the name of the game with highlighter. And highlighter, you're just going to lightly press it up on the tops of your cheeks. Especially as you get older, you don't want to... And the nice thing about this, the Patrick Ta one, it has a cream version up above. And you can take the cream version, tap off a little bit in your chest. And it's so subtle. And it just gives a little bit of highlight to your skin. Love that. Love, 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 love that. And then again, make sure we've got everything pressed in. I did not bring up a lipstick, but I have a couple of them up here that are got lip gloss. Well, let's just grab a lip gloss real quick. How about we grab, this is the Milani Keep It Full. Just a little pink lip gloss. I don't want anything very dramatic. Nice soft color. So this is the completed look. What do you think? I love it. I love wearing color on my eyes. I love, I don't think I would go super bold, blue, green, like 5 different colors on my eyes, but I would do this. I would do this with blue. I would do this with green. I would do this with purple and put it on my eyes and do a deeper color in the corner. And then you can either do like a deeper color, Natasha Denona Retro Glam has got different greens where you could do a deeper one in the corner and then do green on your lid as well. I think that would look beautiful. And for the right occasion, when it gets warmer and it's summertime, I do that a lot and I love it. So go out, be brave, do something different with your eyes, try something different. I mean, I wouldn't suggest trying like a big, bold, bright eye when you're going out for some kind of special occasion or anything in that, but try something like this, on a weekend when you're home and see what you think about it. And if you like it, then try it out. Wear it to work, wear it out to dinner. I think this is going to be perfect. My husband and I normally on Saturdays will go out and get dinner someplace. Usually it's someplace casual or whatever. We don't go real expensive every weekend or whatever. But this is something fun and it looks nice and it makes my eyes like pop and look a little bit brighter. So I love it. I love trying different things in different colors. So I hope this gives you some inspiration, information on how to do it and some inspiration on a way to do something different with your eye look to have fun with it. So go out, have a wonderful, blessed day. I'll see you again in the next video. But before you leave, remember, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, and share it with a friend. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Thank you so much, ladies. Go out. Have a wonderful day.